Good morning. I'm Denise Dryden doing my weekly Sunday morning updates on what's going on. And, because it's February and we've been sort of pummeled with a whole bunch of different emotions and feelings, I thought we would talk about love. And it's love in a different way. Like, how did we learn how to love? And what does it bring up in us? Because right now we've got advertisements, pushing Valentine's Day on us. And if you love her or you love him, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. And what I want to really look at is clarifying the ways that we love and how we love. So we learn relationships by observing and by feeling. So it's both what we see, and we scan, record, and play back, and what we feel, which is this feels good, do more, this feels bad, do less, or good or bad, right or wrong. We have a feeling, right? And when we have that feeling, we do more of it. We learn what makes our mother or our father or our parent, grandparent, those around us. We learn what makes them happy by watching them. When we do something, they're like, oh, yeah, I just think you're adorable. And when we do something else, they're like, And so there's this expand and withhold and expand and withhold. So what we notice is, the smiles, the frowns, what makes a parent step in, what makes somebody step back, what's soft, what's hard. And we learn that we adapt to these responses as we're going along. We lean in when someone's smiling, we step back when someone's not. So, we learn this with our parents, we learn this with our siblings, we learn this with our extended family, our teachers, our friends' parents, we learn the people we date. We learn to watch them for their action and reaction externally, and then we respond to it because we were trained to do that, right? So our love, the way that we open up and allow people to see us, is conditional based on how we interpret the outer external world. It makes sense. So when I looked up condition, it was kind of interesting. Condition is the fulfillment of an agreement. It's a stipulation. It's a state of being in a person, place, or thing. It's a current state. So you think of things like, oh, here's a pair of fried boots for sale on Marketplace, and they're in good condition or they're in excellent condition, which means that what we're doing is we're putting a situation of observation and impeccability with our word, like, hey, I'm telling you this is what it is because I've seen it, observed it, and I'm giving it to you, is the condition, right? So it leads to levels of assessment, which is, I've really looked at this and I'm in my head and I'm thinking, this is good, this is okay, this is not great, this hurts. And so what we do is we impose this onto our external world. We weigh things, we compare things, we assess things, we judge things. So when we impose our level of assessment into others, we're deciding, is this worth a lot of love, a little bit of love, or no love at all? And so what we do is we take this open flow of love that's always in our system, and we determine stopgaps as to how open or how closed it's going to flow from us to them, or how we're going to feel about how they open or close their access to love. So we fit our attention and love into what we know and we feel and we experience. So we say things like, I feel good when, I'm not happy when, and boy, do I really dislike it when. Right? And so all of these reactions are conditions to something that we have seen, felt, experienced, and determined in our head as to how we're going to give and receive love. So we're controlling, we're managing and directing ourselves through this container of our lens. So when we give love with conditions, what we do is we teach our children that, man, when you're really well managed, or you just, I dressed you up and you look just adorable, or, take it further from the baby toddler area into, the teens when, I can radiate because you just did so well on something, or you're such a good student, or I just see you managing your time so well. What happens is we expand and we glow on them, and they're like, and we are passing on this conditioning, right? And, let's flip that on the other side, which is, I know what it feels like to have somebody look at me and radiate. And I'll use an example, my personal example. I was raised in a house where the TV was off. There was no TV. It was very restricted, even music. And so what we did was we played a lot of card games, and we did a lot of one-on-one attention, right? Well, what happens when I'm in a relationship with someone who has a relationship with television? And they want to talk to me, but their eyes are over here, and I'm like, not feeling the love. Right? I'm just not feeling the love because I'm not seeing you radiate on me. I'm not doing something that makes you smile. I can't see your eye contact because you're dividing yourself between me and this. So my lens is, there isn't a lot of love there. And that's where we come in with this conditioning, right? It's like, and I brought the 7 of cups because it's like, I don't know who I'm talking to. Am I talking to you? Am I talking to your condition you? Are you talking to my condition me? Or am I talking, it just goes back and forth, right? It's where we get lost in conditioning versus conditioning versus conditioning instead of really working with love, just allowing love to be. So, these conditionings, these responses, they're organic, they're unconscious, they're trained. And they are specifically trained to pattern reaction. So I've done tons of stuff in the past. You can go back and look at the other videos on conditioned responses and what do we do with conditioning in the education system, in power brokering situations like boss and employee. But what I want to do is just say that these conditions, because they're organic and we learn them and we pattern them, is that we put them into the external world and we react the way we were learned. We react the way we were taught. And so now it takes us some time to go like, how do I remove the conditions that I have and the way that I respond to other people's conditioning when it comes to love? It means that we have to work on our own self-awareness and how we deliver love, how we allow love, how we share love, and how we hold love. Makes sense, right? So I've got 5 tips for you and a couple more pictures, which I thought would be kind of fun. So number 1, explore the ways that you have felt conditioned love from others. Like, go back in your past, in your childhood, in your previous relationships, and identify the container like, wow, I noticed that when I did X, I got X. And so you start to do cause and effect. And again, this isn't right or wrong or good or bad. We're just looking for container lines. We're not looking for, oh my gosh, I was a child without love the whole time I was growing up. That might be true. I'm not diminishing that. I'm saying let's not go into the emotions of where that can take you. Let's just go to, oh my goodness, I learned how to dance around to get my mother's attention, my father's attention. I do that now in my relationships. Here's the container that I work within. So that's the first one. Number 2, feel it in your body, how those containers interact. When you read someone, when you look for, or you need, or you create, or you seek, or you try to enjoy a connection, watch where those containers feel. Like what happens when there's eye contact? What happens when there's no eye contact? So you're going into your body and you're going like, ooh, wow, I think I need eye contact. I think I need words of encouragement. I think I need touch. That's where we bring love languages and we bring all these other disciplines, right? And we start to go like, I had no idea that I'm constantly moving this container around trying to determine what love is or what love isn't. Because it's just a perspective, right? Number 3, when you feel your own body expand, like, oh, I feel happy, I feel accepted, I feel loved. Or when you can feel your body contract, which is your belly pulls up, your hips tense, your jaw goes in like, I'm just not liking this. I don't like this tone of voice. I don't like the way this person is treating me. Watch expansion and contraction. expansion and contraction. Because what you're doing is you're looking at, oh wow, when X out there does this, my body either opens, gets cautious, or shuts, right? 3, pay attention to how you pass these along. Like, watch your child try to get your attention, and do you just drop everything and radiate on them, right? Or do you shut down and go like, not now, and watch what they do. Watch how these cues go back and forth. Do they expand? Do they shut down? So now we're looking for how you pass this along to your children, or how you've trained your partner or spouse to respond to you, so that you guys are pretending or trying to access love without knowing that there are conditions around it. Because remember, today we're talking about the conditions of love, not unconditional love. And we're talking about how we put conditions on that blocks us from unconditional love. I have this card from the Rebels, which is what happens when we're Sacred Rebels card. What happens when we are conscious? I'm going to get away from that light. Conscious of how we reflect. You know, is this how I'm presenting, or is this how I'm presenting? Oh my goodness, I'm catching it. You know, it's a good deck for doing some deeper internal work. So the goal, number 5, the goal is to learn how to radiate, how to accept love, how to give love without that container being present. Or let's be realistic. It's not that we just zip it out and it's gone. It's like, oh, catch yourself, open up. Catch yourself, open up. I'm managing, I'm assessing, I'm weighing, I'm judging. When we know that that's there, then we are in a conditioned state of love. So as we go through this February, right? And we want to do more playfulness, and we want to feel love, and we want to just expand it out of our body, right? Then how do we pay attention to letting go of some of those constructs that we've held that's created conditions about how I feel loved, how I am loved, how I give love, how I demonstrate love. And just play with it, because we really think that love is the essence of everything, because it's how we interact with our energy fields. It's how we interact as person to person, parent to child, child to parent. You know, this is the most important thing we can focus on right now. So if you would like some more information, you can always find me on DeniseDryden.com. I also created a Patreon station or channel, and I'll put a link down there, because as these become helpful to you, you can always donate and sort of help the cause along. That would be awesome. You can also find other links and to some of my other work on Facebook page and on Instagram and LinkedIn, etc. All right. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.